It's ever so long since I stopped being Mary Hannaford. I am Mary Barkley, you know." "Of course! You were the first of our set to go. How romantic we all felt about it! But you stopped writing after the babies came. All girls do. That's what turns us old maids so sour. At least, partly. But do tell me, have you a cottage here? And how did you come to find me?" Mary Barkley appeared to be looking down at the beach. She did not answer her friend's eager queries. Anna Marston leaned forward and regarded her anxiously. "Aren't you feeling fit? You seem so pale." "Oh, quite." Anna reached out toward the electric button, but Mary Barkley's hand intervened, protesting. "We don't want lights, do we? Don't you remember how we always liked to talk in the dark like this?" "Well," laughed Anna, "I'd just as soon you didn't see my wrinkles yet. You look just the same, except that you haven't any color. You had the reddest cheeks in the class." "And you didn't marry after all," said Mary Barkley slowly. "No," admitted Anna, rather fretfully. "The right man wouldn't have me." "That is like you. You'd never make a second choice. Not that I think it's wise of you." From the beach, the baby's cry rose again, weak, fretful, insistent. Anna Marston fidgeted. "One of Mrs. Van Doyen's patients. Of course I know the children there are all right, but sometimes I wish they weren't quite so near. That's a Marasmus baby that came today. Its parents are very rich people. She's keeping the children on the beach late this evening for the coolness. Think," she broke out suddenly, "think what this day has been for the babies in the tenements. If it has been bad here, what must have it been like there?" "Yes," said Mary Barkley. "It is very bad in the city just now." She was looking steadily down toward the beach. Anna waited for a moment, then asked timidly, "Aren't you going to tell me something about yourself and your family? 10 years is a long time in which to know nothing of a friend. Time enough for tragedies that will not bear discussing." "Calvin died 3 years ago," said Mary Barkley, after a silence. "I didn't know," said Anna softly. 3 years ago. Benny was a year old then. There wasn't anything. We had been living on his salary. Death, we had forgotten there was such a thing. I found work. You know I had a sort of cleverness about clothes. I found fashion work that paid pretty well, only they weren't very strong babies. They had to have the best, or they wouldn't stay, you know. Until now, they've stayed." "They are well now, then?" "They are well now." Anna rose with an exclamation and walked up and down. "Then I envy you. What a full life, working, and for your own children. Lucky woman! In spite of your sorrow, lucky woman. Look at me. What good am I? I started out being my father's companion and secretary. It did very well for a time. Then he married again, and I took my mother's fortune and went on my own. Clubs, municipal reform, every galvanic imitation of life I could find. I've been so desperate at times." "I know," said Mary Barkley. "How can you know?" Anne halted in her pacing to stare at her friend through the obscurity. "That was partly why I came over here," said Mary Barkley, in an odd, still voice. "I had to come anyway, to see my babies. I had to do that," she repeated. "Your babies? At Mrs. Van Doyen's? But you said they were well now." "Yes," said Mary Barkley. "She knows how to keep them well. The right air and food. There is so much to know. It isn't simple. If I tried to keep them in the city—" She shook her head. "Calvin and I always agreed that if we could only bring them safely through the first 5 years, they would be as strong as anybody's children. Their brains are ahead of their bodies, but they aren't weaklings. If they had been, weaklings don't get anything out of life worth staying for. I shouldn't have been able to come here tonight if they hadn't been worthwhile. But you see, I know now, better than I did before, what they are." She broke off with a cry. Yet when Anna would have drawn her arms about her, she evaded her like a mist. "Envy me," moaned Mary Barkley. but pity me too." Recovering herself quickly, she leaned forward and spoke rapidly. "What becomes of children when fathers and mothers die? Sometimes things turn out all right, I know. It isn't always the same as when parent birds are shot and the nestlings starve, but sometimes it's like that, when there are no relatives to take them and no money has been left for their support. What happens when a little girl is left without a mother to tell her about growing up? And then children are always so themselves. One child is never like another, yet people who don't know try to treat them all alike. My little Martha, she never tells when her heart is broken or she has a pain and is really sick. She just gets cross and you have to guess.